Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Happy Friday. Oh, get out this weekend. If you have a couple of off days, invest in some family time, some friend time, some do you time, and take care of you. Whatever you need to do to be rested up for the Lord's glory in your life. I certainly hope you will do that. I want to walk us through Psalm 147 and look at verse 4. Yesterday, we were talking about the transcendence, which is the bigness, the loftiness of God. And today we want to counterbalance that to talk about the nearness of God. Psalm 147, verse 4, the Bible says, "He determines the number of the stars. He gives to all of them their names." And this is an aspect of creation that speaks of the commandeering of the universe of the Lord our God, but it also speaks of the affectionate connection he has with his creation. The point is this: he is not just transcendent, he is also immanent. And when you hear immanent, think the great God of the universe is still small enough to be close to you. He is at the same time lofty, but also near. That he's not so big that he doesn't know how to get down to where you are, to see you and be with you and love you and help you. Somebody should have said amen right there. The Bible says he determines the number of stars, which is the idea of his intentionality in the universe. He gives to all of them their names. I remember hearing a sermon on David Pratt talking about this verse, and he says, I wonder what that looks like. We think that there are literally quadrillions and quadrillions and quadrillions of stars. That's like taking every grain of sand on Earth and multiplying that by billions. That's how many stars there are, many of which are larger than the sun. And God commandeers the universe so affectionately so that he knows each of them by name. And David Platt says, I wonder what that looks like. Does he just dance around the universe and go from star to star and say, Joe, Marcia, Junebug, and you know, he's a multi-ethnic God. So Keisha, okay, Gabrielle, Hector, right? Patrick, I don't know, but the whole idea is that he hasn't made anything that he's not connected to. That's the whole point. And no matter what you're going through, this means that God cares about it. This means that God sees it. And it means that God is willing to come down to where you are to bring the help you need. Story is told of a woman who had garnered parking tickets for herself, and she owed $300 in fines, and here she is before the judge. The judge has on his black robe and his gavel. Says, ma'am, the state says you owe me $300. Judge, I'm so sorry, I don't have the money. Ma'am, I can't change the law. You owe $300. She weeps and says, Judge, I'm a single mom. I have several jobs. I do not have the money for these parking tickets. Ma'am, I can't change the law. You owe $300. Judge, I'm pleading for the mercy of the court. The judge takes a deep breath and he unzips his robe. And he comes down to where she is and he pulls out his billfold and hands her 3 crisp $100 bills, and he puts it in her hand with a look of endearment and affection, and he methodically walks back up into the desk and he puts back on his robe clothes and says again, ma'am, you owe $300. To which she announces the good news, Judge, I have the money because it's been paid in full. The good news of the gospel is that Jesus Christ is the great transcendent God who wears the robes of majesty and glory, but on a cross called Calvary 2,000 years ago, he unzipped the robe and put on clothes like you and me and came to where we are to pay the debt we never could have paid. This I speak unto you is the gospel of Jesus Christ. He is big, but he also knows how to get small to be unto you what you need him to be. Have a good weekend, y'all. That's Hope for Today. We'll see you next time.